Hello, welcome back to Groove and Bloom. Today we have a very fun planty video. This plant right here is my Philodendron Florida Beauty crossed with a Mayoi, and it's reverted. So it doesn't have variegation, that's what reverted means. But I love it. I think this leaf tried to be variegated, honestly, but that's the best it could do. If you look at this plant, you can see this. Look at these tiny little baby leaves compared to this big leaf. This is what I want on this plant. I want the big leaves. What this plant is signaling me is it does not have enough support to give all of the energy to these leaves. So it's kind of giving up. So there's a solution. I'm going to try a moss pull. I've never made a moss pull before, but I'm really excited to do it. I've done a lot of research, so I'm gonna just show a vlog of me making it happen. Essentially, if you've never heard of a moss pull before, a moss pull is exactly what it sounds like. I'll show you a little bit later, but basically I already got a plastic encasing that I'm going to stick some moss in, and these little aerial roots, I'll show you a close-up. You can see the node of every little spot where the leaf comes out. There's also spots where aerial roots are trying to grow. Those aerial roots in the wild, they grab onto walls or trees, other things that they can use to climb up. So this is a climbing plant, and they like to have support. Hence the reason I did this stake, which was working for a while, but this plant grows so fast, way faster than I expected. I got this plant, I have a video of unboxing it from Rare Plant Fairy back in, I think July, something like that. This was my first leaf that I got from that plant since I've had it. So all of these leaves have come since then. It's now March, so pretty fast. However, something I don't love is like every internode is what this is called. So the space between one node and the other node, they're kind of longer than I want. Because you can see down here, it's a little bit shorter. And there actually used to be another leaf. Oh, it was coming off this part. Another leaf here. I lost that leaf, which is fine. You're going to lose the oldest leaves with any plant as the plant grows. As I was trying to say, I staked it up. It worked until it just kept going and going. And before I knew it, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to add another stake already. And it's at the top of the stake. It's just been growing so fast, and that new leaf is starting to pop out. So yeah, that's what's happening here. Crazy stuff. This stake is not enough support with a plant this tall. You can see how it just cannot support itself. It's leaning. I've learned that the leaves can get bigger on philodendron if it's rooted to a moss pole. So that's my goal, is to get these aerial roots growing in a moss pole so that these leaves can get bigger. So that's what we're gonna do today. I was gonna show you this that I got. This is sphagnum moss. This is a compressed brick. So it's really tightly compacted into here. The idea is I'll stick it in some water and it will expand, and that's what I'm gonna use. So first things first, let's go hydrate this moss. I'm gonna quickly try and do this before I lose daylight. See if I can open this. This is a brand new tote, so I just rinsed it out real quick. That's why there's water in there. That literally didn't even open it. Ah, it was so nice today, and now it's windy. All right, we're back. I've got my nice repotting tarp here. Oh, it's so much warmer inside. It was chilly. Wind was blowing. So now, got the wind blown look. I'm really excited for this project. If you asked me even like 4 to 6 months ago, I would be like, no way am I doing a moss pole. Like, that sounds like so extra. Oh my gosh, I put a hole in my sock. That's really lovely. So extra, way too much work. But now that I have this plant doing this, I realize the reason for doing it. So I want to do it because I want big leaves on my plant. People do moss poles on monsteras though. I have my monstera on a stake and it's growing happily. I'm hoping I'll get fenestrations on it soon. Monsteras actually don't need moss poles is what I've heard. It's kind of a myth out there. They can grow big fenestrated leaves without a moss pole, but they do need support for sure. Okay, let's get into this. So I ordered this package of moss pole kits because I didn't feel like, especially for my first moss pole, going through all the effort of DIYing like a whole mesh pole and everything. This makes it super simple and easy. And I was confused though when it came in this box. I was like, that looks way too small. But I didn't realize it's all wound up. So how many did I order? I don't even remember. I ordered a few, 4. I ordered 4 pieces, but they are 36 inches long. So I actually already assembled one just kind of to get the idea of what it's gonna be. I'll set this here just for now, but that's an example of like how tall it's gonna be, something like that. So let's pull one of these out. This package also came with some Velcro tape, super handy. Okay, stay there, bud. All right, now, how did I do this so it didn't fold in? I don't think it matters. Okay. Oh my gosh. It does not want to stay open. Okay, so what you do, you fold in. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the idea. I definitely just bent that, but I think it's gonna be fine. So you fold each side in like that. And it's creased, so it's pretty easy to fold it. And then the other side. Nice. Okay. And then as you build it, I already did it with this one to show kind of what it looks like. They have these little tabs and you just hook them in. And so it like secures the back. This is just gonna be full of moss, so it'll be way more sturdy once it has moss inside of it. So now that I have this ready, I'm trying to decide if I wanna chop it and then fill it with moss. Oh, I'm so nervous to chop it. I think while we're here, let's fill this up with moss. So what you want to do, this is going to be sitting in the pot. So the first bottom, you kind of look at my pot here. It's about this much. I actually want to fill this with soil because it's going to be in the pot and I don't want to waste the sphagnum moss in this. Okay, let me bring this here because I'm gonna make a mess, I just know. So sphagnum moss, it holds a ton of moisture. So before you put it and use it with literally anything, you wanna wring out, look how much water was in that. It's like a sponge. You wanna wring out all the excess moisture. So I'm just gonna give it a squeeze, like that. Oh my gosh, there is so much water. And then we're just gonna layer it in here. Okay. I don't know why there are twigs. I don't really want twigs in it. And I'm kind of just breaking apart the moss right now. Give it a squeeze. So what I'm doing here, I'm kind of like smooshing it down a little bit. I don't want it like a compact rock per se, but I do want to fill it in so that the moss will keep more moisture, because the more moss that's in there, the slower it will dry out. So that's the thing with moss pools I forgot to mention earlier. If you didn't know, you want to water your moss pool, and I'll show you later. Like, I'm gonna do it. I've seen a lot of people do just a water bottle trick that you put on top and then it soaks down. You want those roots to be able to take up moisture. That's the whole point of the moss pool, you know? If you wanted it just to climb, it would just be a random stake or a random piece of wood or something. But since I'm wanting those roots to really actually be able to do something, I am putting moss in here. That's the whole point of it. So you do have to keep the moss pole moist. You don't want it to dry out, which is a reason that a lot of people choose not to do them, because they feel like it's too much maintenance. But I'm gonna try it. Oh shoot. There's a piece of plastic in here. Rude. Ugh, hate when that happens. Dang, I really thought I got a good quality moss, but there are like a lot of twigs, dried leaves, and I found a piece of plastic in this. Don't love that. Sounds a lot like the first time I bought sand, coarse sand on Amazon. Remember that adventure? Look, I just found a piece of plastic in my sand. Don't love that. So I've heard specifically Sydney Plant Guy, he describes a moss pole as an extension of the pot, which makes a lot of sense to me. Instead of all of the roots only getting substance from the pot, you're extending that. So there's more surface area and the roots are able to literally go into the pole and take up nutrients and grow. So it's really exciting. Kind of gotta see what we're dealing with here. Want to be able to close it still. Take some of that there. So let's see here. Closing. I want just a little more. All right, let's see if I can close this up. Maybe I filled it up too much because I'm worried about not filling up enough. I really don't know at the moment. Kind of squish it in. See if I can get the first one in here. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be too compact. So let's try. Close it up. Come here, bud. Oh, it's going to struggle. I know. Maybe I do take a little bit out right here. Stick it there. It might need more, actually. Squish. Stay in, bud. There we go. Okay, it's working. Okay, not too bad. It's kind of working. Close. Okay, I'll show you closer how I'm doing this part. I brought over my chunky aeroid mix here. I open it up for you. So I've got my chunky soil. This is what I've got. And that's what I'm gonna put in the base. So this is the pot I think I'm gonna put it in. So this is a little wider. It might be a little more shallow, I'm not sure. But like if I can see how much here. I'll fill that with soil. I actually need to put a little bit more moss right there. So let's do the soil first. I'm gonna bring my plant right here so you can see. This is what I've got so far. Take it out. I really know that this is going to take up space in the pot, so that's kind of why I want to go bigger. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'll just feel better potting up a little bit. So, oh, I'm gonna make a mess. Bring my soil. Stir this around. Oh gosh. I don't think I'm doing this the best way possible, but I kind of want to see what I'm working with here. Scooch, scooch, scooch. I'm just gonna squish some moss right back in here to fill it up. Okay, see if I can get this to close now. I've done it. This is my moss bowl. That's what it looks like on the other side. Pretty good. Next thing. This is the part I'm most nervous about. I'm pretty sure I need to chop my plant. And you're gonna be like, why? Well, it's really hard for the whole entire plant to start rooting into a moss pole. This is just rubbing alcohol. I'm sanitizing my shears. I have to chop it, and I'm trying to decide where because this is so scary. So there's something that happened right here. Where was it? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like this got pinched or something when it was growing out. And this is like a little bit hard and brown, but it's been sustaining all this growth. So I don't understand how that's been working still. But I think I definitely want all of that to be, but look how much space is between these nodes. I think I'm gonna chop here. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we keep this one on the bottom, we do 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves on the new plant. Even though this one's tiny. Does that mean I make 2 moss poles, or do I just leave this one on the stake for now? Oh, I'm so scared. I shouldn't be scared, but it's just, I want it to grow the way I want it to. And I'm worried that me doing this is gonna set it back, but I know it will make me grow the way I want it to. Wait. It'll make it grow the way I want it to, which is big leaves. So we're gonna cut, give it like some space right here. This is what would root. So I think I want to chop here. Doesn't even chop. Okay. Whoa, it like smells good. I didn't expect that. Whoa, it smells like a really fresh vegetable. Sure, that sounds weird, but it's not like a vegetable I can think of. Interesting. Let's take this off. Yeah, you wanna smell it? You heard me?
Yeah, I did.
All the way from downstairs?
I did.
You came up for it?
Yep.
Yeah, smell it.
It's like spicy.
Yeah, right? It's like I
spicy
can't think
smell.
of what it would be.
Here, let me try one more time. It's like a spicy carrot.
Spicy carrot?
Yeah, it's totally a carrot.
But it's not like a radish.
No, but it's like a carrot.
Yeah.
Because it's like a sweet spicy.
Yeah.
You should lick it.
No. I think it's toxic. Who knows? I should look that up. It probably isn't. Okay, this is 1 plant, 2 plants. Crazy. Also, I shared on my Instagram story. I'm gonna tell you guys this too. And maybe I can put a screenshot of this meme. There's this meme I saw that just really explains what a philodendron new leaf really looks like. Less so today now that this has popped out, but when it was all in, it looks like one of the stepsisters from Cinderella sticking their toes in the shoe, and it's really hilarious. So I can never unsee that now. So you can see here that this is a leaf that's coming out, and this is the new part of the stem. So this stem is gonna keep growing, and then this will eventually be a new leaf. Like, it's so fascinating how it just keeps going and going and going. Like, every time it pops a new thing, it has the new stem and the leaf all together in one. And so that's what that is. But you can see how small these leaves are. and we'll see what happens when I root it. I'm trying to think if I should let this callus off a little bit, and I'm assuming the answer is yes. It's a little sappy, not bad though. So I'm gonna set this aside and let it callus off, which that just means letting the part where you cut harden off so that once you put it in soil and everything, it doesn't rot. So I'm gonna set this right here. Now I have to wash my hands because I touched the sap. It's so sticky. So here's my thought process. I know that this is just gonna keep growing the way it has been, so I think I want to do a moss pool to both and test. Like, I want to test and see what happens, because I don't see a lot of people putting the more mature plant on a moss pool. I feel like you just see them like chopping and extending all the time, and this is my first time putting this plant on a moss pool. Did that even make sense? Maybe there's something out there. So let's start by taking this off, which is really nice that I can just add the stakes. If you want that for a plant, I'll have a link down below, because these stakes are really handy if you don't have a plant this large. So, okay. Oh yeah, and they have two sizes. So that was the long size I just took off, and they have a shorter size too. Now I have to get this out. It's always a struggle to get these apart for some reason. There we go. So I'm gonna pot it up just a little bit. So we're gonna have to do that, and then I'll stick this in there. And then I have to make another moss bowl. Am I crazy? Let's see here. This is also really stretchy string that I have that I use for staking things in my garden and my plants indoors. I really like it. So I'll also link that down below if you're looking for that. Okay, I'll pop this out. And now you can see it's actually standing up okay because it's been trained with that stake, but it definitely was not doing that a few months ago. So that's exciting. Ooh, this is gonna look good on a moss bowl, I already know. I'm not gonna replace all the soil in here, so that's why I'm letting some of this stay in here, because I just repotted it, like I said, July. I know this is like my good soil mix, and it was recent, so like less than a year ago. Okay, we need to get the moss pole in here though, I forgot. And I want it right up against the plant. So I'm gonna loosen these roots a little bit. Oh, I didn't realize how deep this, good, it's not rotting, but this is the stem that this was propagated from. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you totally couldn't see what I was doing there. Did you see how long this is? Like, this is the stem cutting, and then it's grown this whole plant. Okay, I totally forgot. I always forget this, that I have these soil screens that you're supposed to put down here. And now if I like shake this, how much of this is gonna fall out? I am going to do that. Okay. Ugh, like I have them for a reason. Let's use them. So this just came with this pot kit that I got. So it's literally mesh, and it's just gonna stop the soil from falling out these drainage holes. And it's probably better I did it that way, so we can stick this right in there. Okay. I'm gonna just tilt this up, stick the soil mix right back in. Oh my gosh. This is such a mess. Okay, and if I stick it in, put that back out. I'm gonna stick this in like that, tilt. Okay, we got a moss pool situation happening. I'm gonna put some of the soil around. Oh shoot, it's not root rot, is it? Dang, do I have rotting roots in this? I'll have to take a close look. Let's pause then if that's the case. This is so heavy. Just kind of prop it up on this box. I'm like, when I saw these roots look healthy. It really does look okay. I don't know where that came from then. Stay there, buddy. It's like, that's kind of a dried root, but maybe it did rot a little bit. Yeah, that's actually rotted right there. Dang. I'll just clip off. Looking for any root rot, which that was like one root that I saw, so let's see. This is wet though, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit. Oh, this is such a struggle. Making a mess. Okay, set that down. Okay, this plant we're gonna stick in, and the back of the plant is right here, and that's why I'm confused. This leaf has been confused and growing like the other way, but maybe I can get it to figure it out now that it'll be on moss bowl. So trying to see, this stem is thick, so it's gonna be hard. I think now I see why it's gonna be hard for it to root in, because you see how it's bent like this? It's so sturdy, like it's hard. It's gonna break if I bend it too much. I'll try and get these nodes at least up here to root in. So we'll get this as close as we can to the pole. So I'm actually, before I fill it in, I'm going to tie this on. I've got this Velcro tape. I'm going to put the soft side on the stem and wrap around the pole. Ah, this is so top heavy. Gotta be careful. And I don't have scissors. I'm gonna use my shears. Shame on me. Cut that. That's at least gonna hold it for now. That's like pretty close to the pole. We gotta tilt it. Okay. Yeah, like that. All right, we'll get there. Yeah, like that. Pull that snug. Cut. So turn that way, bud. Yeah, this totally is confused because it's twisted every which way. Twist it a little bit more. There. It was the stem that I showed you down here that's causing it to go that way. It was stuck. I don't think I'm gonna get that next to the pole, am I? Let's at least get this new one onto the pole. So where these aerial roots are is what I'm looking for to make sure it's close to the moss. All right. Oh my gosh. Well, now we've turned this in a circle, and that's fine because I was trying to see what I'm doing here. Pulling it, tug, nice and tug. I'm tugging it nice and snug. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Whew. Stay there, bud. Well, that's gonna be interesting. It's still turning itself. I think this is how I want it. Let's fill the soil back in. Okay, it's starting to stand up on its own. This is a good sign. Okay. Now I'm gonna fill up with some fresh stuff on the top here. I've gotta stick it in because the roots are blocking it from settling, so I'm shoving it in there. Okay. Kind of shake, tap it. Get all that soil settle. Squishy squish. Add a little bit more. Just want all those roots to be covered in soil. Oh my gosh, look, I've done it. It's beautiful. Will it still fit in this pot? Not really, no. I'll get a new pot, I guess. I'm sure I have one somewhere. Moss bowl number 1 done, and that took way longer than I thought it would. This is quite a project and a mess I've made.
3 hours later.
Okay, let's finish this project. And so I can clean up this mess. Where did I just put oh, got it here. So I actually ended up finding a pot I had. It's a little bit top heavy, so I think I might put more soil in the front to kind of push it back, but it's really doing pretty well. I love it. I also did add another Velcro strip right here. So hopefully this will all anchor in and grow. So that one's done. So this one I honestly am not sure how well it will do rooting in the moss pole without having roots down here yet. But it looks like this is calloused off pretty well. I'll even show you what that means. Right there. So you can see it ended up getting a little bit squished when I cut it, but yeah, it's completely hard. It's not mushy anymore. I don't know why this right here, it got like pinched. It's still growing, right? But it's kind of weird that that happened. We'll see. I'm gonna stick this on the moss pole because I really want to see if it'll just root. I feel like it will. It has the nodes here. You know what I could do? Maybe I'll just put like saran wrap around the aerial roots to kind of like keep it humid. We'll put it on the moss pole and see what it looks like. But now I'm like, is this way too big of a pot to put this in? Because it has literally no roots. So what's the point of having a pot this big? Could I fit it in this? Moss pole in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna downsize to the smaller one. Okay, let's set this right over here. And now snap this open. Okay. All right, back to squeezing all of this. Okay, basically got it done here. I'm going to start by kind of wrapping this on. I'll fill this in first. Okay, so this will probably put out roots into the moss pole. Yeah, we're gonna call that good. Fill it in. So the idea is this node that's down by this closest leaf, that will either root into the soil or into the pole. Both, hopefully. And so I'll have at least some roots in the pot. If not, then they might all be on the pole. We'll see. That's fine, I guess. So I did, on my other one, fill in the back with some as well. Okay, now, it doesn't want to stand up all the way yet. Just gonna stick this in this pot, and that's definitely gonna help steady it because this cover pot is heavy. We're getting somewhere here. Now, where is my Velcro? And I've made a disaster, so it's kind of hard to tell where anything is. Aha! I just need to walk around for a second. Little guy slid under here. Of course he did. Okay. Got my Velcro roll. Making sure this is snug right across. I think we actually need to tilt this all the way. And then, yep, it's gonna grow like that. That should root up here. So let's get that. Grab the scissors, cut. That should root in a little bit. So yeah, I don't want this new leaf to be stuck on this. Okay. This is really exciting. 2 moss poles. Please stand up for me. Okay, so we've got some securing. Each node will be touching either the soil or the moss. Look at it! Now what really will be amazing is when these root, which is why I actually got the clear moss pole. They had a couple other colors. I'll link down below if you're looking for an easy way to build a moss pole. Honestly, it was pretty seamless, just took a little more time than I thought because I had to think about chopping it, and I made 2. Yeah, I think it's really self-explanatory. All you need is the moss pole kit because it comes with the Velcro, and you need sphagnum moss, your plant, and a pot, obviously. Pretty simple. The sphagnum moss I got from Amazon, I'm not super thrilled about, so I don't know if I'll link that below. I only like to link products that I know work well and that I've personally used. And if it's something I haven't used, I will like disclaim and say like, this is similar to the product, and then I think it would work well, but like I try to give a heads up. Oh my gosh. So funny thing is, I actually already had a package of sphagnum moss, which is what I was just grabbing. This sphagnum moss I got at, so maybe it is normal for some twigs to be in it, because I'm looking at this, there's like some, you know, random pieces of like dried grass or whatever. Maybe it's normal, because of course they wrote on the packaging of this one premium, but I'm like, do you just say it's premium or is it actually? So I don't know, maybe I'll link it down below if you're curious and you're wondering, but just like disclaimer, you'll get like twigs and stuff in there, which is kind of annoying, but maybe it's fine, I guess. Maybe it's normal. I just picked out the big ones. So yeah, this is basically it. I am going to just top off these. I'll let you see that real quick. I'll top off with a little bit of soil to help these steady themselves, because like if you just pack more soil on this side, it might help stabilize it. Let's see. Yeah, that actually already helps. I've barely added any. Perfect. This one, just a little top heavy in the back specifically. But yeah, I don't know if I finished my sentence. I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. Back when I was going to say that when I see roots through this, because I ordered the clear stuff, when I see roots growing through this, I will show you. But I'm got a hunch that this video is already long enough as it is. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to wrap it up with a dance as I always do. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Julia. This is Groove and Bloom. I share content on houseplants and gardening. If you're curious about small space gardening, specifically on like a patio, a balcony, or maybe you have like a really small yard, you can still garden. So that's what I've been doing. I have some content about that. And of course, taking care of my houseplants because it brings me joy. And I want to share that with you. You can find joy with your plants as well. Oh no, you wanting to go the other way now? If you have questions about the moss pull process, hop in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have other tips, you've made 1,000 moss pulls or whatever, maybe not 1,000, but if you feel like you're experienced and you have tips, go ahead and share them because we all can learn, right? You live and you learn. That's kind of my theme with my plants. I'm gonna clean this up and let's dance about it. Keep blooming and stay groovy.